Hey everybody, welcome into the Beehive. I'm your host, TheBee at LLC, and this is where we stack precious metals like it's pollen and nectar. Our pollen is silver and our nectar is gold, preserving our wealth as honey of old, and like ancient metals, we hold our own. And we got our auction guidelines for the night are you must be responsible to purchase in this auction. Email me, longlivecoins@gmail.com, with any wins you make throughout the night. Please include what you want and at what price, along with your YouTube name and address you would like it shipped to. I will send an invoice through Clover to your email, which includes many forms of payment, and you can pay from within that invoice. And if you don't find any of those payment methods convenient, I also have Zelle and Cash App. And if you're using Zelle, it's under the business Long Live Coins. All of those have no fee except for PayPal. If you're using PayPal, please add 4% to your total when paying. And shipping is $7 in the USA. Top bid with the highest total value gets a freebie of 1 gram 3/9 fine silver Valcambi bar here. And can't win 2 auctions in a row. That's the only rules. And we will bid in $1 increments up to 100, and then $5 increments over. My guests are always welcome to bid, as well as moderators, and my guests will get free shipping for the night for helping out with the stream. No insurance bids, and we will run a 3-minute timer and then count it down. 3, 2, 1, sold. Ancient coins sold here come with a lifetime money-back guarantee to be genuine. We have 4-month payment plan available with 1 payment a month, and I will ship when the total is received. Please send an email for details. And you can press exclamation point commands to bring up all the different commands. And with that, we can commence. So tonight's auction is going to be a little off the wall, or quite a bit off the wall. Again, this will be the freebie of the night, 1 gram Valcambi bar, 3/9 fine silver. And to start off, I'm going to open a big package here I got from 3D Woodworks. We're going to get into that big box here. See what we got. So how are all you guys? AG Jihadi, nice handle there. Rockamoss, welcome in. Good to see you guys. Double boxed. No playing around here. I'm not joking around when you put this together. All right. My goodness. I should have got this on video. This is incredible. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Whew. Working up a sweat over here. Oh, wow. Big old piece of lumber here. Lumbar. Wow, some interesting saw marks on here. Two. Three. 3 pieces of lumbar. And another little package. Wow, that was very well wrapped up. Brent Straddle, welcome in. Good to see you. Silver and Cigars. How y'all doing? Let's see what we got in this little box. I recognize this package. Looks like we got a couple more pours here to get into. SMC, good to see you. Just opening up some mail here from 3D Woodworks. Got some nice wood in from him. I think on a local tree he cut down. And looks like we got another couple pours here from him. So that's some interesting wood. Looks like I'll have to do some trimming up on it, square it off before I can get a start on it. I think I got a project already ready for me with it. Somebody's looking for. All right. Okay, so first thing I'm going to put up here is we have these easels that I will be offering up here in a minute. So if you would like a coin easel of your own exotic wood choice, let me know whichever color you want. These are all natural exotic hardwoods. They are not stained or finished in any way, so the color of the wood is the color of the wood. So, and I just got this in from 3D Woodworks. Said I might could make use of it, get some easels out of it. So if anybody likes the look of this, let me know and I can get you some easels made up. I think I might use most of this for a project I already have in mind, but if anybody really wants an easel out of that, I'm sure I can spare one. 888 the Great Yo-Yo. All right. I am going to wash my hands right quick. I will be right back. Hang tight. All right, let's take a look at these pores here too before we jump in. Number 7, and it is untoned. Very nice looking finish on it though. Another very nice pour, 3D. Good job. And there we have LLC number 7. Very cool. Thank you so much. Happy Tiger. Good to see you. How are you doing? Yeah, Happy Tiger. I'm going to have to get you to open up for one of my spinning bins for me. Do a little intro and give us a good beat to start us off. If you're interested, I think that would be fun. I'd love to do that if you want. And we also have number 6. This one is toned. This one is toned, but again, a very nice pour. Sweet. Good job, 3D. These are nice pours. And another nice stamp job. He gets his stamps in the right place all the time. Nice. Number 6. Beautiful. Up next, yeah, 3D is a pro. Okay, so I'm going to drop these into the auction housing here, and we will run a timer on it. All right. So your choice of whichever easel you like here. So we've got, this is a really nice wood grain, I think. This is Goncalvo Alves, also known as tiger wood. Very pretty wood. This would be a nice one for you there, Happy Tiger. Tiger wood itself. And oh goodness, what is this? This is oh, I can't think of what it is. It's another hardwood, just kind of a brown hardwood. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but it's nice, light creamy brown kind of. And we have a very red, dark red, really pretty wood here. I like it, called Paduke. Or not Paduke, called not Paduke. Or yeah, no, this is Paduke. Yeah, okay. My mind is not all there today. You're gonna have to forgive me, guys. And then this last is what is this? Something orange. Something orange. Can't think of it either at the moment. But another really pretty, kind of a yellow orange color. Very nice. And also I have just the regular zebra wood. These are also really pretty, very nice hardwood. That is all I have at the moment. I got some more I'll be cutting up shortly. But hey, there's Sean. Let's see if I can get him. Can I shoot you over a link, Sean, and you want to join us? He's one of my possible guests here. I'm hoping to get him up here on panel and hear from him. We are winding down on these easels. So they are $6 a piece. All right, I'll shoot you one over there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Linkage. Let me grab my linkage. Copied. Pastola. All right, let me know if you get that. Should it be coming via email? All right, and we are winding this down. I'm going to count it down. No, and we got SMC coming in at $6. And I'm going to have to redo that. Let me delete that one. Sold to SMC. Thank you very much, SMC. Which one would you like and how many, if I have them? We got the light brown. We got the tiger wood. We've got the... Oh, wow, that was fast. We have the... Hey, Sean, welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in.
What's up, everybody? Hope you can hear me. My signal's always pretty bad here in the sticks, but, you know, I do what I can do.
I got you. I can hear you just fine. That's what Osage orange is what this one is called, and it's kind of a pretty yellow orange wood. Or last but not least, this pretty red Paduk. Quite a pretty. Or I have the zebra wood as well, like I said. Very nice wood as well.
Very nice.
Let me know which one you want there, SMC, and how many. So you're in the sticks, huh? Are you up high in the sticks, or?
Nah, it's a part of Maryland. They're all expanding all the 3G and 4G and 5G, and they got 5G in the area, but we're in a weird area where we're next to the river, and there's a lot of forest around us, so there's a lot of like spotty areas. There's a place actually not even about, I don't know, 1,000 feet from me where you go there and all signal just goes out. It's like one of those spots in that Matrix movie where like nothing works. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's I don't know, and then there's a lot of people in the house streaming like videos and stuff too. So that always takes up the Wi-Fi juice and rest of stuff. So, and I don't have all the fancy computers and mics that people have in the stream. I'm still kind of new to this, if you will, getting started. And like I said, you can't be a black belt first day of class and still using like tablets and phones, and you know, but eventually I'll get there where I get like the $5,000 mic and the $20,000 like PC setup where it's like they can call me to like run like government ops and stuff with the hardware. But I'm not there yet. But you know, I'm just happy to be here. Happy that you guys, a couple of you guys, these channels have me on before and have me on now, and I just appreciate it. It's just, you know, I'm just a dude. I'm nobody special. I'm just a guy out here that stacks precious metals, sees the importance of it, and tries to tell my friends and family I feel like Noah out here a lot of the times where like, I keep telling everybody like, you just need to do it. Trust me. But anyway,
Yeah,
I'm telling
yeah,
you,
no, well, I'm in the same boat with you. We're nothing special here either, and yeah, just trying to get the word out. So, and I just got a couple nice easels. I'll send this particular one and one more. Let me find you another nice one here. We'll
those are
throw,
pretty cool.
yeah, we'll throw these two in for you. Very, very cool. Awesome. Thank you
Nice.
very much, SMC, and I will indeed get you that invoice a little later here tonight or tomorrow. All right, and moving right along. Get these out of the way.
I gotta say, I like your little like spinny little wheel of coins. I thought that was really cool. By the way, we had all the little Commander's coins there. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, try to
there it is.
make it look
Like the Wheel of Fortune. That's what I call it, the Wheel of Fortune, and you never hit bankruptcy whatsoever on any of those stocks.
right.
It's a free trip to Hawaii every spot. $2,000. I want to buy them now when they're all free. Yay! Buy them all one time. Buy one, get one free. I'll buy it. I'll buy all the A's and get the E's for free. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I started this Commander series and then I heard them talking and they said, well, we're going to do up to 10, maybe 12. And then
I heard 12.
I was looking on my on this circular tray here, and I was noticing that's actually if they go 10, it'll be perfect. I'll be loaded out 8 on the outside and 2 up top here that I got available.
Nice.
So that'll be 10, and then maybe I can just show a back or something if they come out with another one. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and try to complete the whole set here, and we'll see if I can load up on it. But
hey, I got the first 2. I need to get the 3rd, 4th, and 5th stuff and kind of slacking on getting some other stuff. I've been kind of buying more of 90% recently and stuff. So, but
the boy, it's a good time to get 90. Yeah.
Yeah. So I figured those coins, I checked the inventory. There still seems to be quite a few of them, each of the ones remaining. I don't think there'll be any kind of mass run to get those and stuff, even when the new one's coming out. They're not like other previous coins, so like we're like the Black Flag series, where like you go back into some dealers and they may only have like the last 2 years, where good luck getting the first 3 years and stuff. But there's time. I'm not worried about it. They got, like I said, at least 5 to 7 more coming, and they're not in any rush to put them out. They're putting them out, I would say, close to maybe 2 to maybe 3 per year. I would say probably closer to 2, just to kind of keep things kind of more of so they can sell as many as they can.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. In fact, I have a couple. I think I have the previous 3. The first 2 I already sold, but I think I have one of each of the other ones left.
Nice.
So I'll be putting them up at some point down the line. Okay, so let's see, what was I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, okay, so this is the ancient coin of the night. It is a Thessaly Larissa. I'm gonna play a little video of it here so you can see both sides of it without me having to handle it. But not that I can't handle it, I sure can handle it. You don't have to worry about touching these as much with your fingers as modern day coins. So but yeah, this is just an easy way for me to show it off to you. So it's quite a beautiful coin. It's 340 to 350 BC, almost 6 grams of pure silver, and they were actually pretty high purity silver back in the early coins, back when they first started up silver coinage. So it's a very nice example, and this is a double signed die by the artist that made the dies, signed both the front and the back. That's a little bit more rare and sought after. Usually it's a nice art if it's signed by an artist. So that is the ancient, and then the special of the day for bullion is, let me pop this up. Will be these buffaloes. These are the buy it now special. You can type BIN special and how many you would like. Buy it now special X5, X8, however many you're looking for. And we can do those at $35 a pop. So you can buy those at any time of the night by typing in buy it now special. You can also buy the ancient coin at any time during the night by typing buy it now ancient. And that will buy that item for you. And then if you wait for the end of the night, we will be putting that ancient coin up at a reduced price. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. And moving along, we'll jump to our next one. Hambone, good to see you. And okay. So let's hear from you. What got you first into stacking, Sean?
I would say it was probably about 14, 15 years ago. I was working in a restaurant, in my 30s, and I had a couple that was a lawyer couple, and they got to be one of my regulars, and they were talking stuff, and he got to mention something about like silver and stocks and gold and stuff like that, and he recommended me a coin store about 30 minutes from me, and decided on a whim just to go there and just to check some stuff out, and I started looking into metals, and like most people, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had no idea about anything as far as the value of precious metals, what they really stand for. I was literally, like I said, you can't be a black belt first aid class. I'm not saying I'm a black belt now, but I didn't know anything from anything whatsoever. I just knew they were shiny coins, and my buddy told me, my regular said that they keep their value. It only goes up and up and up, and just like the stock market goes. So I figured, well, if they're my regulars and they're tipping me well, and they're lawyers, or obviously they don't think they're gonna lie to me. So I stopped in the local coin store, and this is back in, I want to say, like I said, 2010, 2011, when silver was kind of still figuring its whole stuff out. It was around $30 an ounce back then, before it dropped back down into like the low 20s and below that. I went in there and just messed around for an hour, and the guy, the owner, let me kind of just pick through some of the rounds and the bars that he had in the front counter. He just told me, just go ahead and play, young man, and just I'll check on you later. And I found a state of Maryland little bar with engraved, and a couple of little things that had an eagle on it and a buffalo. I was like, all right, this looks pretty cool. And so I asked the guy, well, what do I owe you for it? And he said, just give me $60. I said, I have 3 ounces of silver and I should owe you 90, right? He's like, nah, just take an ounce on the house for me. Just keep coming back and seeing me every once in a while, and just keep adding a little to your stash here and there.
Wow.
And basically just won me over. And ever since then, I've kind of gone back to the same store, bought from them, religiously and stuff. I bought some kind of online stores, and through my journey of precious metals, of stacking and selling and trading and whatever else I'm doing with it, really learned about what the metals really stood for and what they really were, about the constitutional aspect of it, Article 1, Section 10, the fact that I tell everybody, whether if you believe in him or not, gold and silver's been around since Christ walked this earth. You just had a coin that was BC, that was 300 years before Christ even took his first step on this earth. Silver and gold has been around forever, and multiple empires have come and gone since the days of those times. They were all ruled by different regions of the earth, all ruled by different, means of currency and name and trade and stuff. But every single kingdom had gold and silver in their vaults. I learned the value of against hedging against inflation, and really just what all silver and gold can do for you, versus the other stuff that we all try to throw our money in and just pray that it works out, like stock markets and crypto, baseball cards, comic books, and stuff like that. Where a market none of the markets we have any idea. But traditionally, if you go back and look at gold and silver over the last, let's just say, our lifetimes, it's only going up and to the right, and it's the only consistent market really where you can safely put your money in, and not to really say expect is a bad word, but have reassurance that your money is safely there, and you don't have to worry about it. Versus, look what gold has done in the last 2 weeks. It's gone up
crazy,
10%
right?
in 2 weeks. Me and my family were talking about it. When I was telling everybody back in 2002. When I started buying gold heavy, this is like when I was buying buffaloes for $18.55. Can you believe that right now? getting a buffalo at 1855. You'd slap somebody get buffalo at
Right.
1855.
Right.
I was telling everybody you need to go take your 401ks, take whatever 10%, 12% hit you're going to take on the taxes, because in 2 years from now you're going to recoup that way much more. And just really kind of felt like I said, like Noah and a little bit of Jonah out here. Kind of just felt like
Right.
I got basically like the saying says, an honor has no profit. I mean, sorry, a prophet has no honor in his own home. And
Yeah.
really felt that I was falling on deaf ears. So I figured that my actions had to speak louder than my words. I had to keep doing what I was doing like Noah did. I don't care about what they say about what's not coming or what do you think. I don't care. It's not going to affect what I believe is coming. The breadcrumbs are there. I'm not trying to sound like an alarmist or Sean Paul Revere out here. Like the bricks are coming. The bricks are coming. But, this is like, look, this is the safe hedge. And,
Indeed. So,
and my journey is kind of still going.
Nice. Mrs. Coin Crew is asking, who is this? And I don't know if she knows you actually or not, but Sean's, and you go by Sean Precious Bullion?
That's me. Yeah, the bullion. In case anybody wants to know why I spelled it differently, as you can see him. I don't know if you've seen my page logo or if I have it up there somewhere. I have a blue-nosed pit bull, and he's the most sweetest guy ever. So he's a bully dog. So I just one day decided, yeah, I'll just do the bullion as the BULLYON, and the initials of my actual name is basically in the name itself. So yeah, just some guy been around for a couple of years on YouTube, kind of chatted with a few people, decided to start doing some videos and joining people live and stuff. I've seen a lot of everybody's and kind of know a lot of people's names and stuff. I've kind of just been debating if I want to do this or not. It's not that I was afraid of like showing my face or worried about getting views or whatever. It was just more of it's just like some of us all have like anxieties and fear and failures and stuff like that. So I just had more of like conquer a lot of fears, and it's like this. You just need to say the message. You just come on here, try not to talk too much, try not to be too much of a weirdo and stuff. So, like I said, just trying to get the message out. I enjoy everybody that entertains me and puts me on their channels and stuff, and just happy to be here, man. Happy to be alive. Happy that I know about gold and silver, and just trying to share the knowledge of it with everybody I can.
Yeah, good words. Being alive is kind of like a nice bonus, huh? Like, it's
and everything above ground is a free roll at this point, in life and stuff. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. Every day is a blessing, literally, and we should be happy for what we have instead of what we don't have. I mean, we all wish to have more gold and silver and be able to buy it at a cheaper price. And I was actually having a conversation with one of my fellow stackers today about it. He felt he hasn't bought anything in a while. He's behind. And I told him, look, dude, the fact that you have any precious metals in your portfolio means that you've got more silver and gold than at least 97% of the entire population of America right now.
Yeah.
You're way ahead of the game. You're mentally ahead of the game. And nowadays, that's even more important right now than having all the metals you want. Having that proper mindset of what you're doing, why you're doing it, staying calm when everybody else is panicking, and be able to have a clear mindset of what it is that you want to accomplish is so much of a bonus to have if you have it than having all the precious metals and not really knowing what you're doing.
That's a very good point indeed. Yeah, that's it's really something once you're, and that's really what we're fighting against is just the kind of brainwashing is the way I consider it.
I consider it the same way.
Yeah, and it's that we're taught to look at the system wrong, and once you realize, like you're saying, I mean, there's two ways to look at it. Gold has been the one thing that has continually gone up, and that is definitely true. And on the other side of that coin is the dollar is one thing that has for sure gone down for steadily for that whole time, and that's kind of the thing I think to grasp for people is instead of looking at it as gold and silver going up, look at it as your dollar losing value, because that's kind of the one of the initial measure sticks. And then, of course, by going to the grocery store, right, you can figure out the rest. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, it's cool. I think this is my first time actually, like, honestly, seeing one of your little live coin shows here. So, like, how does your stuff work? You kind of just put some coins up and kind of let them sit there and let people basically bid when they want to, pretty much.
Yeah, so I put up a coin and I put up this little 3-minute timer here. And so this coin runs for 3 minutes. And if nobody bids on it, then I just pull it and go to the next coin. And then also throughout the night, I have these 2 buffaloes that anybody can buy. Those are kind of my deals of the night. And close to spot,
Cool.
and just your base bullion. So at any time, if you want, however many of those you want, you can just type buy it now special and how many you want, and that will get you those. And then I show that ancient coin kind of as I go throughout the night and run it at the end of the night as well. So yeah,
Cool.
that's how I do it. And I also
definitely think. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say I also throw up some osmium, crystalline osmium, which is a unique product here that we'll get to see before the end of the night. So, but yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking, I really like the hourglass, or the concept you got there. You don't really see that a whole lot really anymore. People, it's interesting. People knew their history. That's basically was like the watch for everybody back in the old days, was the hourglass and stuff like
Right.
that. So that's interesting to kind of have that little bit of history right there. So just for me personally, being in my mid 40s and kind of knowing a little bit about, I'm kind of at that age where, like, I'm kind of into the new world and kind of into the old world type of stuff, and still part of that Generation X stuff where I remember that kind of stuff and remember that stuff from the past, where you show that to a little kid, and nowadays, like, what is this? Some
Right.
some sand stuff? Yeah, like, what is this? It's a shaker? Like, yeah, it's a salt shaker. Make sure you open the top up before you put it on your chicken and stuff. But anyway,
Right. Yeah, it's kind of
cool.
interesting how we're on the edge of what seems to be kind of a fake reality in the digital world, and then but yet we can kind of remember the analog world, or at least you can a little bit, and it's interesting to see that departure kind of from reality in so many ways. And in fact, that's one of the things I'm trying to kind of keep myself aligned with reality much more than I see a lot of society is just kind of running off without worrying about that. But I think reality, in fact, with silver and gold, is a good point to point out reality, like how we're on the false reality of the dollar being our stronghold. But in real world reality, as silver and gold is the finite real product that you have to dig out of the ground. That's a reality to our world that makes things stable. And it's that false reality and I find, and you can even look back in cultures, when a fiat currency starts getting debased, the culture often goes with the debasement of the currency. Like the culture starts getting more crazy and I see that as being a symptom of happening to us right now. So
it's a causation of the haves and haves not, when things become basically, we as creatures are basically hunter gatherers as a just a natural being, if you will. So when our gathering ability becomes hindered by forces outside of our control, i.e., your dollar becoming less, i.e., not being able to have as much purchasing power as you had before, there's that FOMO / anxiety / fear that kind of comes out, that says to yourself, I'm not going to be able to have everything that I want to have. So that also instills panic, which instills an unstilled mind, which instills what you're seeing nowadays. People are, feeling in their pockets, which translates to they're going to be how they're going to behave, because ultimately everybody is feeling some kind of form of anger or frustration, as if you will.
Yeah.
That's why you're seeing what it is, and really, it's the difference between people who channel that energy that is negative and trying to turn it into something positive, either for themselves or for the community, versus people that go out there and really just unleash their anger onto others, really not really caring about the ramifications of their actions or how it's affecting the person, that really, in retrospect, have nothing to do with what's causing you fear and anxiety in the first place.
Indeed, indeed. In fact, I've been pointing that out a lot lately, that you know how they say, like, I don't know what the stat is, but like 80% of divorces or something are money related. And I said, I bet you can replace that statement with 80% or maybe 75% of the population is divorced because of inflation, because you know it's a hidden tax, and it slowly makes the pressure grow and grow, and you have to work harder and harder to get the same amount of stuff. And even though you're maybe taking on an extra job and you're working harder in that, but you're still barely able to pay those bills, suddenly that pressure gets so high that you start lashing out at at people that you might love. And instead of knowing where the actual pain is coming from, you're just going to take it out on the whoever's closest to you type of thing.
Yeah, to where it's really, they should be self-reflect. I mean, I'm not holier than thou, but you know, it's been a lot of times when the self-reflection got to come in the point to where it's like there's a point where you have to be kind of frustrated and kind of sick of being frustrated, or sick and tired of being sick or tired, or really just accepting what's going on, and have to like do something to change it, but do it in a positive way. Like you said, you're not taking it out on the people you love just because they're the closest person next to you, or they're willing to listen to you, because you don't have the phone numbers or have the time of day to go talk to the people that are really causing your frustration, because you know they're not going to listen to you. So it's interesting how the world is set up and stuff. We are headed to a digital, basically, takeover, if you will, of almost every aspect of our lives. You know, there'll be people that'll just accept it and just take it for what it is. There'll be people like you and me, from what I tell from our limited conversations, won't accept it and just realize that, like, this is not good for the greater good, even though you're telling us it is. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter what they tell us. You know, I'm a little bit more strict as far as what I do versus what they tell me to do.
Like it's safe and effective type of thing.
Yeah, well, to be completely honest and completely point blank, and just to throw the cards to the table. And again, I'm not afraid to take a bullet for the community, or take it just to worry about criticism or just whatever. But I'm just a guy on truth. But I tell you what, long live Mr. B. When they told everybody back in 2020 and during the later part of the winter, early spring, that you would be arrested, you'd be thrown in jail if you go out and praise the Holy Spirit, but we're freely allowed to go out and buy your own spirits at the store, I knew that was it. That's it. I don't need to say anymore. I knew what I needed to know for what is coming in the future, and I decided that, like, that colorful box of lights that's in our living room and in our, you know, houses and stuff, I'm not listening to anything they tell us anymore. As far as what I need to do to improve myself and stuff, because you know, I know better, but that's just me. I'm pretty sure others that probably feel the same way.
Yeah, well, and it's a hard pill to swallow, to wake up again, kind of to that reality, like I was talking about, where you have to really look at the the box of colors in your house that's telling you all these things, and you look into them and you find out, wow, that's actually deadly, and that's quite threatening. And here they are. You know, even if you look at like our, you know, I actually don't have a TV in the house anymore, so I don't catch all the commercials. But I flew down to Chicago and talked with Aaron Burke. He's an ancient coin expert, and when I was down there in the motel, I flipped on the TV, and every other commercial is a drug commercial. And
Just say that.
it's like, I mean, you know, this helps the color of your skin, but the side effects are death and like just every list of horrible things.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Guy Ridley and tibia, and all this other stuff. And side effects include vomiting, dry mouth,
exactly.
constipation, thoughts of
Passing out.
suicide.
Yeah.
You might kill yourself. You know, like really, like the side effects sound worse than what I'm experiencing now. But I don't want to go on a soapbox on my first time on your channel what I feel about the pharmaceutical company. I'll just leave a little breadcrumb here for you. If you haven't heard about this or your audience, I'll just say go ahead and look up what the Latin word of pharmaceutical comes from, and then be amazed. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, every commercial is buy the new 2025 car, flip to. Do you have? Are you entitled? If you've been in an accident, you're entitled to compensation. Call the offices of this guy, and this guy for all your need you have, and then flip to like Guy Rizzi and Nativia and Voxaplox and all these stupid words that come up with these drug companies, and it's and then flip to the commercial for Modelo, since there's Modelo beer commercials everywhere, because apparently that's the #1 selling beer in America right now. I had no idea until I looked that up, but yeah, it's what I call the tell lie vision. Is telling a lie of your vision, and they're programming you with the programs they have on you, because they channel images and stuff. But anyway, again, I don't want to try to go on a soapbox on your first time. Get canceled.
No, that's good. That's what this channel is for, is to have other
Everyone's like, who's
smackers
this
on.
weirdo on here? I never heard of Sean's Precious bully. Who's this joker?
Right. Well, I'll just not have you back on, so don't worry about
No.
it.
I would love to be on again, man. I appreciate you having me on. I hope I'm not taking too much time from your auction, and I hope you sell all the coins. And that ancient coin is really awesome looking for being literally almost 2,500 years old.
Isn't it
That's
amazing?
amazing looking.
It's amazing. And those ancient coins, I get so much out of them by just looking into them and see what they're saying. They just have a voice of their own. They speak so many things through their symbolism, and that's one of the things I find about them that's interesting is those older cultures like that had, maybe lots of gods, but there's no way you could walk up to any of them and say there's no such thing as a spiritual realm. Like it was part of their reality. And I think nowadays we've completely pushed it out of our reality. For the most part, it's like all material based, type of thinking. So
the Antichrist. The Antichrist is here. And I think people think Antichrist is one person. I don't think it's just one person. I believe it's a mindset. And it could be one person. I could be completely wrong. But I look at all the music awards that they have, like the Tower of Babel in their background, and they're giving out lost idol awards and stuff. Yeah. Look at like the pop star videos with all like the demonic images and the hip hop stuff and everything else going on in the culture with the red bottom shoes and everything else that you're seeing. It's ultimately a satanic society that wants to think that you don't need Christ in your life, that you're special to freely do what you want to do and stuff. But that the ones that have the truth walk them know it better. Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah. Hey, Beavis. It's funny. Back in high school, I actually looked like Butthead. I had my hair all shaved to the sides and had braces. I looked just like that dude, I swear.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
Funny movie too.
Yeah, the movie was good too. Yeah.
That's the anniversary coin. Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Like the 30th anniversary or 35th anniversary, I think it was.
Yeah,
I think that show came out in the late 90s, if I'm not mistaken.
The movie, yeah.
The movie, yeah.
Okay. Yep, 30th anniversary, it says right here. So
cool. I think your Buffalo rounds are a good deal, by the way. That's cool. You have them kind of sit there till whenever people want to grab them up. That's pretty dope.
Yep. Triple Eight the Great says he remembers gold at 179 an ounce. Woohoo!
Oh my lord! I wish I knew about gold at 179. Oh my lord!
Yeah, Elle, if you're in here, welcome in, Elle, and thanks for being
Hey,
here.
Ellie.
If you're still
She always.
here, if you don't mind
That's right.
grabbing Sean's link and dropping it in the chat, or somebody that wants to, that would be great. We got some people wanting to sub to him, so
I appreciate that. I got like I think 171 subscribers the last time I checked. I haven't done a video in a while. Most of my videos are me doing garden stuff or things with the dog or my fireworks, and I'm always doing every 4th of July. And I just been busy with like garden projects and stuff around here. I just haven't had. I just really just I really have no excuse why I haven't done a video, but I need to do a video and start putting some more content in now that I'm decided to like I need to take this message sharing way more seriously than I've been doing.
sure. Yeah, it becomes a lot. It becomes especially when you're doing things like me, like you set a time where you're like, okay, I'll be there every Wednesday and every Saturday, and then
Commitment.
and then you got to drop videos in between, and it's like,
Yeah.
goodness.
I see. One of my top friends. He has a YouTube channel when he does like frisbee golf disc golf stuff. Actually, I think he's going live right now as we speak. And I've seen how much time it's taking for him to like edit videos and do live streams, and it's like, man, that's several hours, literally almost a week, if not a couple hours a day. It takes of your time. So it's
Oh yeah, it
decided,
does for sure.
So I figured if I gotta redirect my time into doing the message, I gotta decide to cut some things out that I've been doing. So I'm slowly transitioning to like, I don't need to do this anymore. I can put this on hold and I can do this on the side. So slowly but surely, it's all coming together.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's sort of like with a family too. I got a wife and two boys and life and work, and it's like, yeah, it becomes a lot. So it's definitely something that you want to know what you're doing, and before you just jump into it. But another good thing is just like doing these lives is one of the better ways of like talking and getting to know someone, and because you're like, oh, I'll put this all in a video, and then you spend like days on the video, and at the end of it you're like, oh, I think I just want to scrap that whole thing and start over, just go do a live. You can spend a lot of time trying to get a video how you want it, and you just don't have enough in it, and then you're like, oh, I'll add some more, and then it becomes too long, and it's like, it can be a headache. So, and then if you don't put them out regularly, YouTube starts working against you.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Weird.
And like I had not put out a video in quite a while, and I dropped a good one yesterday of the interview I had with Aaron, and I think it's a good video. Like I would have enjoyed that from, even if I didn't know anybody in the community and I watched that, I would have enjoyed it. Like I think there's a lot of good information in there, but it went like nowhere. Like YouTube just didn't push it, at all. And you can tell when they push a video and when they don't, and I think it was because it's been too long since I put out a video, and they're like, oh, well, we're not going to push you till we see more effort or something, It's like, what in the world?
You think you were a bad kid, and the parents like not going to give you your allowance back till you start doing more chores. Yeah.
Yep. You got to do it their way, and then they shadow ban you if you say something that they don't like. Which everything I say is something that they don't like.
Very, very communist of them. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah, no doubt.
I said it, not him. Don't ban him. Ban me.
Right. Nah, USSA.
Yeah. I like that. It's funny. So how much are you selling the Beavis and Butthead coin for?
55. Limited mintage of 5,000. Space Miner, good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, I try to have something that's cool and unique and funny and fun or whatever, like this Beavis and Butthead, but then I have some just base bullion there available for
It's good to have a little variety. It makes it fun. It makes it
what you're after. And most of it is just to get people used to it, and then they I'm trying to work them into some of these ancients, because I definitely advise people not to, if you don't have a base, if you don't have like a base to stand on, the first thing I recommend is getting your silver stack base, and then some gold if you can get into some gold, And then once you kind of have a base of that, then you have some availability to branch off a little bit, you know. But I personally, if you like coins, I have never gotten more out of any coin than I do these ancients. Like it's like the gift that keeps on giving, you know, from a coin. Like I always seem to find something new when I'm looking at them and enjoy them, and where I just don't get that out of other coins as much. So, you know, the modern stuff. So I think it's pretty cool. And knowing, you know, that you know, it's the origin of our money, and then it was good, clean money. And then you watch them get into the Roman times, and they start slowly debasing it until it become just ridiculously bad metallurgy, you know, and you know, they're trying to dip the coin in silver to make it look silver, even though it's copper core, and just every slithery trick. And that's what we see today in our economies, like all these little slithery tricks that they're trying to pull. And yeah, I don't know, it just
the game they got us on.
Yep.
Or should I say experiment, I don't know if you caught this. It seems like the last year I keep hearing all these guys talking about the Great American Experiment is the word that they keep using, experiment. I'm like, wait a minute, why are they saying that word? Like, you know, anyway, continue on. Popeye.
You bet.
Popeye
Still
the
in
Slayer
its,
Man.
still in its lollipop package.
It looks super sealed.
Super sealed, double packaged, triple packaged.
Nice.
Got his spinach.
Eating that spinach.
What's going on today, Mr.
The old black and white Popeye was one of the best, especially when they had what was they call it, the Jeep, that little dog thing that kept disappearing on them all the time. That was hilarious part of the cartoons.
Yeah, the old cartoons were the good ones for sure, and I liked like Wile E. Coyote and the Sheepdog one and the Roadrunner, stuff like that. I kind of enjoyed.
Hey Frank. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, those were good.
The old black and white Daffy Duck was some of my favorite, when he was like super loony off his rocker. That was some of my fun. He'd like jump around the lake, and he would grab the rig, actually grab the river like a rug, and pull it over top of him as he jump under it, and just the most off the wall crazy physics stuff they would do, and always made me laugh. The old what they call them, the silly symphonies, all that kind of stuff back in the day. Yeah, man, good stuff.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I was just watching. There was a former Russian CIA agent, Yuri Bizmenov or something like that, and he went through what they were saying Russia wanted to do to the U.S. or at the time he was in, and if they were going to do it, how they would do it, and what it takes to do it. And he went into basically 4 different stages, and you start with the first generation of kids in school is where you start, and then like
I saw that video.
Did you?
That. Yeah.
And,
No,
yeah.
he's exactly. It's exactly what's happening. He's
Yeah.
not wrong. I mean,
No,
he's not wrong. He's probably been taken out for saying that. But anyway.
Yeah, and that's an old video. He did that back in like 79 or 80, like when I was just being born.
It's funny if you go back to like the late 70s and early 80s stuff, that they warned about things. A lot of people were warning about things to come. And, you know, obviously no one took them seriously a few years later, because it didn't happen in a few years. It took 40 years, took 50 years. But a lot of people who have, I don't want to say clairvoyance, but the people who have knowledge of wisdom and have the ability to literally, you know, see the breadcrumbs, or even know this kind of like the writing on the wall. It's not like the days of King Solomon where you need an interpreter. It's like it's plain English. Right. But everyone's distracted with entertainments and stuff like that. People that are not necessarily planning for that kind of stuff are thinking it's going to happen. But the guy's absolutely right. And how they're going to do it is they affect a generation of children, get their mind warped around. We don't want to go to battle. Our government's evil. everybody's against us. We want to rebel and basically create anarchy. You have that happen. So now you basically work the minds of the people. And number two, you mess with the money, mess with the economy and stuff like that, and basically make it to where, like, you know, people are having more financial times. Then you go with the infrastructure here and there, and then you send the troops in.
Yep, and the morality, you said a big part of it is just the morality too. A big last step is the morality, and once you get the morality off base, because then no one's standing on anything except the whirlwind of lies that's out there that they're spewing. And if you don't have that,
It's like you said earlier, they're trying to get rid of God and the need of God, and that's how they poison the mind, and to where you give people no hope. Because people who, you know, like myself, who believe we have the hope, we don't have to have the fear and anxiety that the world wants us to experience. But when you take that from people and you say, oh, you don't need God, you don't need to believe in God, you can do what you want, Jesus is not going to be there for you, the devil is your friend, and all this other stuff, then people lose hope because their expectations are not being met. You know, I was
right,
supposed to
and
have this, supposed to have that, and it makes people angry because they have this false illusion of I deserve this, or I'm entitled to this because of I'm this. When it realistically, it's like you're not promised anything. We're all grains of sand on this earth. We're not promised tomorrow. It's what you make of yourself is what you're going to get. You know, there's no free handout, something like that anymore. It's just, but it all really boils down to mindset. That's really everything. And if they can really poison the mindset of most Americans or most of the children, then they've got the next generation wrapped where we don't need to worry about people fighting back against what we're trying to push because they've already accepted it. And if we can get 75% of the people to accept this, we're not worried with the rest of 25%. At that point, it's majority rules in our democracy. And, you know, it is what we're going to tell you what it is. But, you know, it's a slow drip. It's a slow drip. It won't happen overnight. It's like you said, it's a
the scary thing is
multi-generational thing.
they take out God and they put in themselves and they make us rely on them, and they like everything we have now is provided in the grocery store. And people have just become so accustomed to this overlordship and like in every way. Whereas even in old times, if you might have, you know, that same type of structure in your government, but you as a family and individuals, for the most part, for overall, if you look at the big picture, they still had to go get their own food and understand. They had a little bit more connection with reality as opposed to us nowadays, where we just think, well, we just go to the store and get what we want. Yep, as long as we pay our taxes and do what they say, they provide for it. And so you start relying on them, and man, are some foundations going to get shaky for people when things go down.
It's just like the Matrix. They everybody plugged in, and just like when, you know, Morpheus tried to tell Neo, it's like most of these people are so dependent on this system. You gotta understand they're willing to fight to defend the thing that keeps them in control because they don't know any better. Because for every bit of their lives, they've been in one form or fashion have been handed something or been said, "Hey, look, you can just go here and get this," like it's some side quest in a video game. Where, you know, people like we're not agriculturist society like we used to be 100, 200 years ago, where we grew everything. You know, when we went to the store, it was like a store for everything. It was like a store for like food, for like hardware. We didn't have separate stores to have separate things. It was all one inclusive. But most people back then either traded with the stuff or grew their own things and were a little bit more, like you said, grounded to reality because they basically realized that like there's nobody coming to help us.
Yep.
We have to help ourselves, you know?
Yep. Oh, I don't know what I can do. So, yeah, that's what's in here. I'm going to use, I have a piece out here on my shelf, my own personal one, but it's the exact same. So this is what it looks like out of the COA box. Billy the Kid. Got some bullet holes through the wanted poster. This is a coin. So 2023 $2 coin from Niue, and it's a coin of Billy the Kid. I bet he wouldn't have thought that they would be making coins of him one day.
Yeah.
With bullet holes in his wanted poster.
Yeah, with like 22 long rifle holes in them. Someone was like, "Hey, I have a genius idea. Let's go plinking with their silver bars." Yeah, that's a great idea, and we'll make him into a wanted poster. That's
Right.
awesome. That'd be funny if they actually shot him with, but the entry hole would look way different.
Right.
3 minutes on the clock.
She's up and going.
She's running. And she ran. She ran for 3 minutes. Get your LFR. Sorry, I'm a little goofy. It's been a long day. I've had to drive a bunch of my friends around town to do stuff and to help a lot of people out and everything. And I even blew up on one friend. He was being a little anxious for me and driving, and I had to like tell him to like, look, dude, we're gonna crash if you keep talking. And I felt kind of bad. He's a good friend, trying to help him out, but again, so it's been a long day, but I'm here for the long haul, man. I ain't going anywhere. I don't care how tired I am or how tired I look. I'm committed.
Cool. Well, we shouldn't. We're already over an hour. I usually go about 2 hours. We're gonna switch over here shortly to osmium, and then we'll jump over to our ancient coin after that, and we'll be wrapped up. It won't be long. These usually go faster than you think. I myself had a long day, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do it, but I need to, because
Commitment, good for the soul. Yeah.
got to stay consistent. But
So this osmium thing, I keep hearing you guys talk about. I never really heard about it until I heard you guys talk about it. And what exactly, like, how did you hear about it? Where did you what was the thing that really got you really like kind of like, I don't want to say sold on it, but really was like really into it, if you will?
well, I kind of got sold on it the first time I seen it, and it's kind of one of those things where you're probably either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it, and it's not for everybody. And but it's another precious metal. It's the 8th and final precious metal to be brought to the market, we like to say.
Okay.
It's kind of the last thing, and I was just learning this from Space Miner, but it's the last thing when you break down platinum, like with your different acids. There's two things that they can't eat off or break away or separate, and those two things are osmium and I think like iridium, or I'm not sure what the other one was.
Interesting. Iridium's actually a platinum-based metal too, isn't it?
Right. Yes. So
yeah, platinum family. That's interesting.
It's another platinum-based product, but they're anyway. Osmium comes out to be the most dense element known to man that's not radioactive in a stable form, I guess I could say. It's the most dense, stable element that we know of. It's the most noble metal that we know of. It doesn't tarnish or break down. And when, like in this crystalline form that I'll be showing you here in a minute, it's up from 5 nines to 7 nines pure. It's like the just pure, because what they do is they vaporize it, and you have to get it up to like 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit to vaporize this stuff, and it has to be really pure, and then it creates this crystalline structure that I'll show you in a little bit. And the cool part about it is each crystalline structure has its own built-in unique code. It's like a snowflake. They all form just a bit different, but and so they take that piece and they document it with these high-tech microscopes, and they get high resolution pictures of it, and they document it, and then it's available for sale. And what's cool is when you buy a piece, that code that's stored within their private server will shoot you out a code that only you know of, that only you have, and it connects that unique coded piece to your name. And then if someone steals it, they can't resell it because they don't have that ownership code to resell it.
That's cool.
And so it's a proof positive way to know that this is your bullion, and you have ownership, and you can transfer it to whoever you want, whenever you want. but can't be stolen out from under you. Yeah, there's some really cool. We'll get into it here in a minute. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool stuff.
that sounds pretty dope. So
Yeah.
that metal is even more like dense and more durable than tungsten.
Well, it's harder. It's like on the same hardness level, I guess, as with diamonds.
Okay.
Basically, like sometimes the diamond will be harder, and sometimes the osmium will be harder. So it's really good on just hardness, but it and it's like the most abrasion resistant element that we know of.
Interesting.
But it is kind of brittle in the sense that, like, if you were to try to take it and bend it, it won't bend because it's crystalline structure kind of, it is one piece of metal, but
Yeah, it's
it
not pliable.
can be kind of fragile, if you really wrench on it, and you might break it. But no, it's a very interesting metal. It's very, it's like I say, it's the most noble, corrosion resistant and dense and hard, and yeah, it's and there's just a tiny amount of it is what's amazing. Well, platinum is fairly, it's rarer than gold. What, like, I can't remember what it is, quite a bit rarer than gold, and then osmium is just ridiculously rare. It's like how many tons? Is it 10 tons of dirt? What is it to get one? Oh, I can't. Space miner. What's the
Like 1 ounce of gold per dirt.
yeah, no, it's what's the amount of they call it platinum base product, and it's like 10 trucks full of dirt before they can get like 1 ounce of, or 1 gram, I believe it is, because it's sold by the gram.
Sounds about right. I
It's
remember doing a video with Surfer like a year or two ago. Actually, not that long ago, about a couple months ago, talking about platinum. And I looked into it, and it was like if you take all the platinum in the world, like versus gold, like think if you take, I think it's like, I forget, it was over like I think 6 swimming pools full of gold, Olympic size, and if you were to take that and use it as illustration for how much platinum is out there, and it would only come up to your ankles in one of the pools. So like it's like an amazing ratio between like how much gold is out there and platinum and how much they're actually able to mine versus, like you said, like 10 truckloads of dirt would bring a lot of significant amount of gold. And but yeah, it's wild how
yeah.
like 10 tons,
So
like 1 gram platinum.
yeah, Space Miner says most compression resistant to 1,500 times more rare than gold, and it's 16 tons of platinum ore for 30 grams of osmium.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's like
it's
next to nothing.
yep. And then like all that, yeah, there's only like 2 basketball size. Like if you were able to mine everything that they think is in the earth, you'd come up with 2 basketballs basically worth of
Wow.
product. But we're only going to be able to mine like a quarter of that, so it's even less. I mean, it's crazy how little there is of it.
It's like 4 softballs at most, basically.
Right,
Wow.
right.
Get it while you can.
Well, that's it, and it's a new product. It's only been on the market for about 10 years, and only in America for 2 now. I found it through Ian of ARK Silver Gold Osmium. I have him on my channel every other week and interview him. He's a precious metals dealer in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And I went down there to visit his shop and talk to him. I just wanted to talk to him and get an interview about silver and gold. And then he showed me osmium, and I was hooked after he told me all about it. And yeah, so he was the first. He's the flagship in America to bring the crystalline osmium in, and there's only a few others of us that have our own state and are going to be issuing out the metal as well. So it's a new product, and just coming over here. Yeah, it's been over. So over in Germany is where the Osmium Institute is founded, and that's where they do the crystallization. And they've been at it for about 10 years over there, and they have wealthy family offices, you know, trading and doing business with them, and you know, investing in it. And it's pretty cool because you can take high amounts of value, and you can take your piece of osmium, you can get on a plane, and you can fly to whatever country you want to with this piece of osmium in one disc about the size of these 5-ounce rounds here on the merry-go-round that I have here. That's a disc of osmium. The size of one of those 5-ounce rounds would be like $50,000. So
Wow.
you can easily buy a couple discs and buy a house with it, or so it's a way to, you know, in a really small package, take a lot of value and move it, you know, from it's already been kind of cleared through customs. It was one of the first things they worked on, is being able to move it through countries with no problem. And so yeah, it's a new interesting product that has some very unique characteristics.
Nice.
And let's go ahead and move into it since we're talking about it here. Let me get over here and share my screen. I'll show a little video on it. This is when I first went down to meet Ian the first time down in Wyoming. Let's hear what this says here. That's just like you say, if you it pops out a constellation at whatever angle.
Exactly, whatever angle. It's, yeah, I'm in that.
Yeah, there you go. Now there was a piece there in the end, a piece on his watch.
That's
So
pretty
there's
cool.
yeah, there's some high-end watchmakers that are using it, and you see how at different angles there's different constellations that pop out at you,
Yeah,
and that's
that is pretty cool.
that unique code that's built into it. So each piece is truly its own unique piece, and has its own code and its own unique constellations that you know, are popping out at you from different angles. And yeah, it's very cool. So we've got, get rid of this here. So this piece is just, I picked up a B. So you can get letters, you can get discs. I've got a 4mm disc here.
That's pretty cool.
And I can get them under a microscope here in a minute to see them better, but this is just what they look like raw. And a lot of people are putting them in jewelry. Some people just invest in a disc just as an investment piece. So there's different ideas for whatever you're after.
That's pretty cool.
This piece is probably the piece I will put up tonight, this letter I. So, and then this code down here at the bottom, let me back out a tidbit. So this code down here at the bottom is basically connects the piece together. So we'll go over here to the Osmium Institute site here in a minute, and I'll type in this code and it will bring up this piece and show a picture of it that we know from them when they took a picture of it in the Osmium Institute and attached this code to it. And then so that allows you to look up this piece, see how much it weighs, what there's different sparkle grades. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you can get, you know, all of the information you want on their website from this code right here. And then say you were to buy this piece from me, just if you were to, not, you know, just for the fun of it, we'll say that you did buy a piece from me. I would then send you the piece of osmium, and when you get it, you say, yeah, I got it, let's have that code, and then I shoot you over and so what I do, since I own this piece right now, I am able to go into the Osmium Institute, and you know, it shows that I own this, and I have my phone number, my email, and my name. Actually, I have it under, and you can put it under your company. You know, like I have it under Long Live Coins. My company is who owns it, and I have my work phone number as the number that I give to own it, and then also I have my work email. So like you can make up an email if you want for your own code. You can make up a name, a number, but you have to know and keep track of it yourself. But anyway, so if you sent me and you said, yeah, here's my name and my number and my email, go ahead and send me that code to that email that you give me. And so I would say I would enter in your name and your phone number and your email. And when I hit send, it erases my code that I have that makes it my own personal piece. That code gets thrown away, and you get a new code sent to your inbox from the Osmium Institute. It doesn't come from me, but my code gets erased by the Osmium Institute, and your code gets sent to that email that you give me. And then you have a unique code that you can look at and say, oh yeah, okay, now here's my code, and now I can sell it when I want to. So yeah, does all that make sense to you?
Yeah, it's basically kind of, they got like what they call the word registry. Yeah, it's like a registry basically.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna register your name, and then when you want to transfer it to somebody else, it's like, all right, your pin code to your like digital wallet, whatever, it's like been taken out and transferred this item to somebody else's. That's pretty cool. I like how I do that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Silverboy Blues, welcome in. Good to see you, sir. How you doing? How to Coin, welcome in. Good to see you as well. And Happy Tiger, glad to see you still in here. Sorry, I had to put away groceries. Oh, okay. Yeah, did you get some good stuff? How is the grocery prices treating you nowadays? Is it
get them eggs?
You get some eggs, yeah, right? No doubt, huh? Okay, so I'm going to throw a piece under the microscope to show you a piece up close. Let me do that. In fact, I'll put out the piece that we're gonna put up for auction tonight. This is a letter I, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up and also show you the osmium price and how it's performed since its inception on the market.
I might look into that stuff. I remember when rhodium first came out at like $500 a pop, and I didn't touch it, and it went to 30,000. I was like, I should have bought it. 59
yes.
One of your money. Ugh.
Yeah, and so yeah, this is a new product on the scene, and it started off
to the right. That's all I need to see. That's all I need to see. I mean, you can show your viewers, but for me, I don't need to see anymore. That's all I need to see.
Right?
Yeah. That's all I need to see. The water's rising and up and to the right. I'm sold.
So yeah, in looks like March of 2017, we started off at about $567, and it's
That's
been
right.
about a 15% increase year over year.
That's what palladium did. Oh my God. Okay. I might have to start like that's $30,000 osmium, and now it's $70.
Yeah, and so I bought in, and this is a gram. So I bought in at $1,650, and then it went down after I bought. That's commonplace. But now it's turned around, and boom, it has shot up again here in this last month. We got over $2,000 a gram. So
wow,
yeah,
$2,000 a gram.
A gram, yes, sir.
Holy crap!
Started off at 500 there, but yeah, it's moving fast.
So they sell it by gram, not by ounces, because there's not a whole lot of it available, basically, right?
Exactly.
Holy crap! 2,000 a gram. Yeah, Danny might have to go, and that's nutty. What those letters? What are those a gram a piece, or are they like 3 grams?
No, there's like way less than. And again, remember, this is the most dense element known to man. So like
okay, so it's smaller. Okay, so it's like platinum versus gold. It's going to be more dense and less. Okay, it's smaller. I get it. Okay,
so it's like this is like point. I'll look it up, but like this I that we're gonna look up right now, it's gonna be like 0.01. It'll be like 0.01 of a gram. Like it's a lot less than a gram. Which is why I have a lot of the smaller pieces. Because like this piece here is, I don't know, a few $100s anyway. So, but this will be less than $100. So, let's see.
I had no idea that they were that expensive. I might have to go get an SPB just to get it. Well, I can't. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
2,000 a gram. Wow.
Sandy ahead. I don't believe I've seen you in here. Welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Okay, so I am going to show now the osmium identification code. Yeah, and the microscope. We'll get that going here in a minute. Okay, so let me get this shared right quick so you can see it as well. Okay, so here we are at the osmium identification code page.
Pretty.
And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to enter in this code down here on the bottom of the piece. And I put it in this little osmium identification code box here, and it's AFCYR. I think I need to put the little dashes. I might have to, though. EEH7. Let's see if that pulls it up or if I have to put in the codes. No, there it is. So
there it is.
This is the piece, and we'll start off here. It's a letter I. It is 0.042 grams, so it's not even quite half of a gram, or not even quite half of a tenth of a gram. I guess that would be
1/20th of an 1/20th.
So, and then its main dimensions are 6.02 millimeters. And secondary dimension is 1.06 millimeters. Average thickness is 0.31 millimeters. It is a sparkle grade 3, and I'll explain the sparkle grades here in a second, but this one is a sparkle grade 3, which is medium, average sparkle. And so this gives you that code. I'll pull up a... Oh, cool. I didn't even have to change pages for you there. So this is kind of a blown up microscopic look at it. We'll get it under my microscope here in a second, but that's kind of, you can see that crystalline build up, the pyramid kind of form. And so again, that's how it gets made. It gets vaporized and then recoaxed down in onto a flat layer of like glass, and then they coax it into this crystalline form, and they let it grow and grow and grow. And so when it first starts to get just a little growth there, it's a very fine powder that would coat the glass, and that's kind of where you get your lightest sparkle grade from is just kind of a light coat. It'll still be one piece of metal. It's all one piece of metal. It's not like these are separate pieces. This is one piece of metal. But the longer you let the crystals grow, the larger the sparkle grade will be. So their sparkle grade range is from a sparkle grade 1, which is, again, it's not as large of crystalline structure. It's more fine. And so that's what they consider a sparkle grade 1. And then as they let that grow, the crystalline gets a little bit bigger, then that would be a sparkle grade 2. And then they let it grow a little bit longer, that would be a sparkle grade 3. And they go up to a 5. That's kind of where they get the heaviest and biggest crystalline they feel good with. And so that's a sparkle grade 5 is the most coarse structure that you can get. So the crystals have grown pretty big. They're kind of big, beefy. And so like when you're moving it around, the points of light of reflection there will be bigger on like a sparkle grade 5 because the crystal has grown bigger. But like on a sparkle grade 1, it's not going to be as heavy or as thick of a piece. But sometimes you want that lower sparkle grade, like on a watch face. They kind of use a lower to mid grade sparkle face because you don't want the large crystalline structure to catch on a cog or something on the watch face, right? So you kind of want that smooth lower sparkle grade. So it's not like a lower sparkle grade is less quality. It's all the same quality, 5.9 to 7.9 pure crystalline osmium. So it's not like it's a lesser of a product. It's just kind of what you're after in aesthetic look. Do you want that more gnarly, heavier, larger crystalline structure, or maybe medium right in the middle, or maybe you want a finer one for whatever reason? So those are your sparkle grades.
That's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
It is very cool, and it got me hooked right in the first time I learned about it.
Definitely sparkly is definitely the word for it. Definitely look like diamonds almost.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is a lot of people say this is going to finish off because it's already struggling, the diamond, because they're making them in the lab now. But this is a finite metal. You're not going to get very much of this metal.
I can see that. I can see that really being like the next thing in like jewelry, like they say, because it's more of a statement piece where this is osmium plated or this is osmium watch or face, and the fact that there's not a whole lot of it could really set the tone for a really like high uber high end like jewelry and stuff like that, where like watches are like 50 grand, 100 grand a piece, and give a different thing to the market than just your regular your regular watches that cost a bunch of money like that too. Your Rolexes and stuff like that add a different, or even Rolex themselves could even adopt this into their little thing. I could really see that really taking off into like a jewelry aspect, just because there's not a whole lot of it. You wouldn't obviously be any kind of a metal for application in the real world, but as far as like a jewelry though wise, I could definitely see that being like a big hit, especially with the price too.
Yeah, it is a big hit in jewelry. The few times we've done shows, we went to the New Orleans Investment Conference, and the few places that we've been and had it out, that's been our biggest seller, was our jewelry. But for me, and I have some ideas that and I'll probably do a little jewelry too. In fact, my first piece I bought was for my wife, and it's kind of a nice little necklace pendant I got for her. But
nice.
I ultimately want to get a larger piece just for investment, just the piece itself, just because I think it's a good investment, a unique investment. I call it my corner stall horse. You got your main horses in the race, but you got that one in the corner stall that's like unknown and that might win your race for you in the end. That is kind of not expected, but
it's a sleeper horse. Yeah,
it might surprise you.
everybody's sleeping on it now. Then when it becomes like 20 grand a gram, everyone's like, oh, okay, maybe I should buy it now. Yeah.
That's usually the way it goes.
It usually takes about 10% of the population or 10% of what people are doing in order for it to hit natural saturation and market attraction to hit. So,
That
but
what it is? Interesting. Yeah.
if you can get in why it's low like that, I mean, I might get more back in contact with you with maybe checking into that stuff because at first I was like, yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I don't even know nothing about it. It just I know it's a metal, but whatever. I didn't know it was actually the 8th threaded metal. I learned something today being on your live stream, so that's pretty cool. And I didn't
Cool.
know
Yeah.
it was
No, it's new. It's
$2,000 a gram. That's nutty.
Yeah, and when I got in not long ago, like I say, it was at 1650. So this last little jump in the last month or so has been pretty impressive.
Wow.
So here it is. Let me grab my other flashlight. So this is kind of a cool little osmium light that they send you. Hopefully it's charged up, but it can make it sparkle and dance a little bit for you under there. But yeah, so like if you put this on a pair of dangly earrings for your girlfriend, she will not go unnoticed. Let's put it that way. For a girl who likes to, to show off every once in a while, this is something that will do it for sure. So yeah, so each piece has its own little unique identification code built into it, and then you get matched up with an owner's certificate code, and then no one can steal that piece from you, and you can sell it when you're ready. And for me, this is a long term. This is a buy and hold, pass down to my. This will be something that if you get into, your kids probably won't be able to get in. I mean, when you're in, but if you're out, it might be hard to get in at some point, because this will probably sell out of the metals first. Be a lot of us used to say, oh, silver will be the first one out, but now we're kind of thinking that this might be the first one out. But okay, let's see what we got for a price here on this one. So I'm going to look up. Well, I can just see here. So okay, so the price here on this one is $74.03. Can you guys see that? No, you can't. Let me pull that up. Okay, so yeah, here's the piece, and it's 74.03 euros. Let me see what that is in dollars. It's going to be like 77 or something dollars. $2. Type in 74. Which is 84. Okay, that's a little bit more. So share this tab instead. Not show you guys. So we got 74 euros coming up at $84.06. So we will put it up at I'm in a giving mood today. We'll just go at 85 here. And where are we at?
So that's the number $85.
Hold on, let me get this information in here.
Sorry if I keep flipping in and out of service here. If my face gets paused.
Okay.
Bad service here.
What did I kill that page accidentally? I think it did. Okay. So it was versatile 3, weight 0.042, and it was letter I. A dash FCYR dash EEH7. Okay. You're $85. Back over here to you guys. And there we go. So this piece is up for $85. This is an I. It is 0.042 grams of 7 to 9 fine osmium. You could do 7 nines fine and be safe at 7 nines fine, no problem. So it's very pure crystalline osmium. Oh, and so if you get osmium in its regular sponge form, is kind of how it's pulled out of the platinum ore. It actually gives off if exposed to oxygen, it gives off a tetroxide, osmium tetroxide or something, and that's kind of deadly.
That's bad.
So yeah, that's bad. So, but when you get it into this crystalline form, you're completely safe. It is like the most inert thing out there. No acid can hit it and destroy it. So like you can pour aqua regia on it and not worry. So yeah, you almost can't destroy this stuff. You just don't want to get it over 500 degrees Fahrenheit, which if you're at that temperature, you got other problems. So
yeah. If you heat it up, what happens? I'm curious.
Well, it'll give off that tetroxide at like 500 degrees or so. It'll start spewing off gases that are not healthy. Need to sell 2 of them that have similar factors for earrings. At some point, I would like to. Yes. Just you have my email, and I think you have my phone number. If not, let's send each other an email. I'll get you my phone number, Silverboy Blues, and then you can just call me whenever you're ready and with some time, and I can take care of that for you. And you get to know all this. Oh, thank you, Space Miner. Yeah, welcome in, Sandy Head. Sandy Ahead. Yeah, it's nice to have you here, and let me know if you have any questions.
That stuff's pretty cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I got a whole new appreciation for Alfie and now being on your channel here.
Yeah, and the more you learn about it, the more fascinating it becomes. Like, especially if you're not already into precious metals, it might be like, yeah. But like once you know what you know about precious metals and you find out about this stuff, I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the itch is starting to get real. I might have to check around you. Yeah, I don't know if it's the shiny stuff or it's the fact that $2,000 a gram is sending alarm bells off in my head right now, and all I can think of is like, this is rhodium 2.0, basically, that everybody could.
It really is.
Of.
That's funny you say that, because those of us who've been in it for a while, we talk about it now and again, and that's what we were talking about just the other day. That's what someone was saying to me, is like, this happened with platinum when it first came out, rhodium, plate. People didn't want to know what to do with it, and then and this is like way more rare than those, and it's a brand new market, and what it's going to happen in jewelry and the eliteness of being able to trade it for high value from another place to another and have it be a tangible asset with a unique code built into it that is so dense you can't pack this with any other materials because it's already the densest thing that there is, let alone get that same code and the hardness and it's almost unfathomable, all the qualities that this thing has is pretty cool.
It is pretty nuts to think that like you can take an ounce of it somewhere and it be so small and just travel with it anywhere, and that you got $62,000 in an ounce form just right there waiting to go to transfer money. I mean, you bring basically like what 13 or 14 ounces, you got $1 million pretty much almost. That's pretty nutty.
It's crazy, right? Like a couple discs buys you a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Super crazy.
cool.
Yeah, I might have to get an SPB just for S and gigs probably. I might have to do that. Then when I start doing my little live streams and with my tablet or hopefully some future better equipment, I can just put that in the background and have like SPB along with the other cool gold and silver pieces I have in platinum. Be a nice little like diversification of metals basically to kind of
For
show off
sure.
the background.
For sure. It's a great
And
conversation piece. And wait till you put it in some earrings for your girlfriend or whatever, man. That's where it really shines. Put it on a beautiful lady, and then you have all the things that you could want. You got a beautiful woman and precious metals attached to her.
yeah, if I get a girlfriend and start giving her osmium, she's probably going to want to expect some more stuff, probably. And I'm like,
right.
Yeah, you got to earn this trust. Or I'm not going to put $60,000 in your earrings. I'm not that guy. So I don't even have earrings myself. I don't have any piercings or tattoos at all. So it's
That's a good point.
But,
That's funny.
the woman deserves some nice things once in a while. But osmium earrings might have to be down the road and stuff.
Right. No, I totally feel you on that.
Really next, you know, she's gonna want to go to Buffalo for her birthday and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, she's starting to learn.
Right. That's right. We're counting her down. We got Silver Boy Blues at 85 on this one, so we are gonna say SOLD to Silver Boy Blues.
Bang! We have a sale. Nice buy, man.
No doubt. He's been picking up some of it, and I don't know if he's just seen that price chart there, Silver Boy, but you should be smiling at this point if you did.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty, especially when the 10% gain it had. Like it looked like it had the same amount of gains as gold did the last 2 weeks. It's pretty nutty.
Yeah. Yep. And it's that one more corner horse that you got that's raring to go for you.
Horse in the saddle, ready to run the furlong. Yeah.
Right.
Triple Crown winner just waiting to happen. Put your money down on the futures bet. 44-1. Catch it when you can. Yeah.
Yep. Get this put back in the case for you, Silver Boy. We will get her on the way to you.
Silver Boy Blue, he's got a letter I for you.
Beautiful piece, Sparkle Grade 3. Very nice pickup. Very low price you got it at as well. That'll be in the green in no time.
Very nice.
Put you down here, Silver Boy.
So is like osmium like mined in a certain area, like how like platinum is like most of platinum in the world is in South Africa? Is there like a certain region of the world where osmium is like more proficient than others?
Africa and Russia are your two places, and you can imagine.
So Russia, so that you just saying that right there already told me I need to start getting some stuff because the forces that be on the over there in ASIA are basically trying to scram up all the minerals over there in Africa and stuff. And of course, with all these tariffs on Russia and them being our, how the relationships are not where they were, we're not going to get a whole lot as it is. So,
indeed,
man, you can imagine. Oh my God, yeah. So, all right, being SPB looks like it's going to be in the future for this guy.
Yeah, you can imagine how things are going with the Russia side of things as well. So
yeah, they sent some more missiles apparently into Ukraine, and now they're all trying to conscript all the people ages 18 to 35 that got like just the ability to walk. It's getting nutty over there.
It is. 3D Woodworks. Good to see you, bud. How you doing? I just opened up your package earlier on the show. Thanks for the building blocks.
Those were cool.
I'm not showing my screen here. What in the world?
You,
There
you
we
got
go.
the yeah. It looks like you had a bag over your face, like the feds came and took you.
Let me pull back here a bit. So yeah, thanks. I got your what kind of wood is this called again? 3D.
It's like a cherry oak, or I'm not sure what that is.
You can use some Madrona. Madrona.
Interesting.
Huh, I don't know it, but yeah, that's cool. I'll definitely. I think I have a project already cut out for it. But if anybody really likes that and wants an easel out of it, let me know. JT Coin Rings, welcome in. Good to see you, bud. How you doing? Cartier Silver, welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well.
Hi everybody. So I can't
All
see the
right.
chat, but I'm just say hi to everybody.
So that was our osmium. I believe I will stop with that piece for tonight. And hopefully coming up here, we're going to have a special show on osmium, and it'll be me and a few other people who've been in it for a while, and we're gonna do some deep dive talking on it, and hopefully in the future here I'll be having more products to offer up. So
Nice.
it won't be just one product tonight. We'll have a little bit more variety and throw some more up for you guys. So good news in that way coming up. But now we're gonna move on to the highlight of the night, which is the buy it now ancient. So again, the buy it nows, you can whether it is the whether it is the buy it now special, which is the silver buffaloes, the 3/9 fine silver buffalo rounds, 1 ounce of silver 3/9 for $35. And you can just type in buy it now special at any time during my auction. Just type in buy it BIN dash special, and then X5 to let me know that you want 5 of them. And you can buy that, or at any time throughout the night, you can buy it now ancient by typing in BIN dash ancient. And I will know that you want the ancient coin, and you'll get it for that price. And if you've been patient and waited till the end of the auction like we are right now, I reduced the price of this ancient coin, and tonight we are going to reduce it down to $1,800. So that is a $50 savings. And again, we can do a payment plan on these if you would like. Up to 4-month payment plan. So you could cut that into 4 parts and pay 1 payment a month. And when I receive the total, I will ship it off to you.
Hold you all for that.
So this is what we have up for the night. It's $50 off right now. We're going to do a 5-minute for this one, for the big boy of the night. We're doing the 5-minute timer.
It's got 5 on it.
I got 5 on it. And let me zoom in here a bit. And we will also play. Let me do the video. Drop a video of it here for you so you can get a good visual take on both sides. Again, this is a Thessaly Larissa drum from about 340 to 350 BC. It is 5.93 grams of pure silver, double sign die. That means the artist of the die that somebody subscribed or tipped. What happened? I missed it. Thank you for whoever just JT Coin Rings just tipped $2. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate that.
Super dude move.
Super dude move. And so we're at 5.93 grams, and it's a double sign die. And if it's a good artist on the ancient coins, they would sometimes sign their die showing that they did this die work. And so this particular coin does have some very good art. The horse is in very good proportion size, and the face and the hair I find quite quite well done, and yeah, it's a very beautiful ancient coin.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Let me just pull it back here. Take a look at it here. So yeah, so we have right up between her hair, right where it kind of parts there, there's an AI. AI right there in that hair split, which is pretty cool. I like how we put it in with the hair and it kind of blends in. But look at the eyes on that. For being of this age.
Scott.
Oop, let me pull that in just a little bit more. A little better light on it. And the horse on the back. So the AI is right there underneath the belly of the horse. AI. And then the name Larissa underneath right there. But again, that horse is very well proportioned and about to roll. And if anyone knows horses, you can see that, yeah, that's a horse getting ready to roll. And that's pretty cool. And that's what they were known in the area for. In fact, the very horses that Alexander the Great used to conquer a few years after this coin was minted probably came from Larissa. That's what they were known for. And they just had been taken over by Thrace, which is where Alexander the Great was from. So not long after this was minted, his father Philip was the father of Alexander the Great, and he came down and put this Larissa Thessaly into tribute to them. And of course, they were known for their horses and horse breeding, and that's why they have a horse on the back of this. And then with those, he managed to go and conquer most of the known world at the time. So anyway, I find it quite fascinating, and it's up for grabs.
Those are cool. And you have to think about there's like not a whole lot many of those really in that condition too. So the rarity of something like that is, it's pretty awesome. Most of those coins that age are just worn to crap.
Right, indeed. That's what makes it valuable, is its artistic merit and its good quality silver, and everything together, it adds up. And then that's what, it's not like I'm applying that price. That's very close to what I paid for it, especially at this reduced price. So it's what the market bears, and I had to put that up to get it if I was interested in holding it. And since, so I'm going to have an interview tomorrow with Aaron Burke on live here on the channel. So I'll see you back here tomorrow at like 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. It's 1 o'clock Chicago time. And yeah, we're going to be talking. I'm going to talk to him and hopefully about the tariffs, because the ancient coins got hit with the tariffs.
Really?
Yeah, and so and that's where a lot of our ancient coins obviously come from, Europe and overseas, and so now that there's this tariff, what is in the U.S. is evidently, supposedly, they're saying going to go up quite a bit in value, because the stock that we have is the stock that we have.
And that's it.
And,
Yeah, ain't gonna get no more.
And so I guess from what I've heard, now I haven't seen the prices yet, but I'm hearing quite a buzz about that's probably going to go up a fair amount in the States here. So we'll see. I'm going to talk to him about that tomorrow. Hopefully we'll find out more about that. And we are winding down on our 5-minute time. In fact, we are wound down.
Countdown.
I'm gonna count this one down. Ooh, and we were right. See, we're 2 minutes after 2 hours. See how this works out just about right. Got lucky on this one again. Right at 2 hours.
Always works out. Everything always works out. So I told my buddy today, and he was stressing me. It's all gonna work out. Everything's gonna work out.
Let's see. Invest wise with Wise LLC with the ones you sell here. Will they sell for the amount paid or maybe a little more a year or two? Yeah, for sure. Sold Roy Blues. And like with mine, I spend a lot of time. I had a question. Well, ask your questions, but I'll try to pay attention to them. If I missed one, let me know. Repost it. But yeah, I mean, with mine, I buy it at the price that I buy it at from Aaron, and he knows. That's why I work through him, is because he knows the ancient coin market very well, and I don't. So it's easy for people who don't know the coin market to get ripped off. So not only do I back all of my ancient coins with a lifetime money back guarantee, if you can prove somehow that it's not real or whatever, it's money back guarantee for a lifetime, any of the ancient coins that I sell. But it's not just me. I'm just a small dealer, and that probably doesn't make you feel very safe. But all the coins that I buy come through Aaron, or at least have Aaron's approval. So, and all of his coins that he sells also through Harlan J. Burke, one of the most well-known ancient dealers in the world. All their coins come with a lifetime money-back guarantee to be genuine as well. So you really don't have anything to worry about there. But yeah, when I buy that coin, I wait until I find something that has what I'm looking for and I'm happy with it. And I buy it as a stacker. Like, I buy these as my coins, and now I put them back out on the market, which a lot of people wouldn't probably do, but I just put a little bit of a markup on it, not a lot, but enough that I'm going to make a little bit. And again, I don't necessarily want to get rid of it unless I'm making a little bit on it, and then I'll just go back into the market so I can get the only reason I'm doing that is because I'm pretty poor and these coins are expensive, and I won't be able to get a lot of different variety in if I don't turn them back over. So I figured if I can find the good quality art that I like in these ancient coins, show them to people, so that they can get a chance to see the beautiful art and what they're, all the history behind them and what they mean, and hopefully it'll intrigue them so that they get in and they buy it for me, and then I can take that money and go and just keep doing it. That way I'll get more coins in my hand as otherwise I would, wouldn't get as many in my hands. So that's kind of why I'm doing it that way. But yeah, you should always be getting more money for them. And especially like just now, like where the tariffs just hit, we had an even bigger jump than we would have been expecting, at least from what I hear. But either way, I mean, okay, for example, when I first started looking into precious metals and what rich people were doing to hand their value down generation after generation to their kids, they had like 3 main pillars that they stood on. And that was like gold and silver, art, and real estate. Those were like their staples that they would, hand down to their kids, and that's how they preserved their wealth and handed it down. And I thought, well, I'm into gold and silver, but this is like gold, silver, history, art, combines up with some of the most amazing property and land and history and the stories that are combined and pressed into time, minted into time. And I just think that this, for me, I think and especially now with the internet and the knowledge on coins and knowing that you have a lifetime money back guarantee from good reputable dealers, I think that people will start to appreciate these coins more. And when the knowledge gets out there, the demand's going to keep going up. It is a precious metal, at least even at its base. And so, I think that it ticks a lot of those boxes off. So yeah, for me, I think it is good. But again, it's not, I say that after you would have, your already base of silver, so that, not getting in trouble. It's a little different market. And is osmium. Osmium's a little different market. You know, I would want a base of silver and gold before I jumped into crystalline osmium as well. But again, once you have your base, you know, silver and gold and again a decent stack so that you have a bit of a foundation, that's when I find, well, now you can roll over into a coin. And if that doesn't sell right away and I get in a pinch, well, I can sell some of my silver or I can sell some of my gold. And that way I don't take a loss on it. And I wait till it does sell and then I get to enjoy it and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think having the base of silver and gold is important. I always tell people when they're first getting into silver, kind of like how I did my stacking. Like, ironically, when I was younger, I actually had some 90% quarters that I kept in a little like safe box in my room, and wasn't until about 10 to 15 years later that I actually learned what they actually were. I was like, oh my god, I got like 9 silver quarters here. I'm rich. Oh my god, you know, I was pretty happy about that. But I think like the average stacker is just getting started. I think 90% silver, constitutional American coins is probably some of the best ways to start. A couple dimes, half dollars, quarters and stuff. Kind of get a couple, you know, dollar space of that stuff. Then I think the next step from there is silver rounds, like bullion bars, rounds, whatever. Like your buffaloes you have there, I think are the number one stacking round out there to get. From there, maybe grab a couple silver eagles, American actually, you know, back silver, stuff like that. And then from there, you know, go into gold and then maybe venture out to some, you know, some other countries' bullion and stuff. But I definitely agree with you about having a little base of silver and gold first before you start, you know, getting into like stuff like platinum or palladium or rhodium or, you know, like you said, the osmium stuff. But I think osmium, I can definitely see that it definitely has a great value to it. And just the rarity of itself, I think, is that definitely will push it. I'm definitely interested now and stuff. So you got me. If your mission was to convince people about some osmium, or not to convince them, but to try to steer them in the positive direction, to take a look at it, I would say mission accomplished, because you got me at least to take a look at it and stuff too.
Awesome. No,
And
that's
I
cool.
went up into the right chart, and I saw $2,000 a gram, and I was like, okay, I don't need to hear anything else. I'm up into the right, 2,000 a gram. That's all I need to know. So I'm definitely gonna check it out. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
cool.
awesome.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm serious about maybe getting one of those letters. Yeah, I see you have the B there, so you guys got to find out S and the P. So
For sure.
I'm serious about maybe the next couple of weeks or so, maybe talking to you about order me an SPB from your guy and see if he has his letters available. And
Oh, for sure. We can definitely do that. In fact, what you can do to look around in the meantime, and yeah, you know, you can buy directly from the Osmium Institute, but if you go through me, you'll get a much better deal without having to pay all the shipping and VATs and stuff that you would by going through them.
I'll just go through you because I don't have to pay any shipping or any taxes or any kind of BS or whatever, and I'd rather support local than some big company that's not going to give 2 cents about my purchase. Oh, who's this Sean from Maryland? Yeah, whatever. Just send him his stuff and on to the next guy. Where if I send it with you, at least what it'll do is it'll encourage our build on our relationship. Just getting started here as two dudes on YouTube, and you know, I can say, hey, I got this from this guy, and he's reputable, and I can just be another leg basically out there trying to steer people to some osmium and stuff, and say, hey, babe, you should look into this stuff and not just, you know, snoot at it like, I don't want this diamond looking crap. I don't, it's not sold at the U.S. Mint, so I don't want it. It's not publicly traded on Wall Street, and yeah.
So you can come here to this website that I'm showing right now. This is, if you type in buy osmium, that should pull up this site, and you can let me see if I can.
So you can buy a little bar, a little coin.
You can buy bars, discs. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, once you get in here, you can go to bars. They have all these different bars, squares,
shapes and stuff.
Yeah, I like this hexagon for the bee, for the bee in me. But you can go to So you can get all these different shapes in like an option box. You can get split bars here. These are kind of cutouts, but you can get a cheap cutout and kind of turn that into an earring or whatever you want, or just investment in it. But that's another, easy way to get into it. Then they have stars and more other shapes, and you can even do here's their letters,
There we go.
all their
There's
different
TheBee.
letters.
They got them all. Sweet. SPP. They got them all.
Yep, and
Sweet.
numbers right here, and there's a heart as well, and then symbols. We have some symbols, and if there's something here that you don't see that like you really want, this star. Can you see what I'm looking at? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So the star over here, this falling star, shooting star, is what I got for my wife, and that's a pretty cool piece. I really like it. But yeah, so, and if you want something in particular, you can actually have them cut out of a disc, because most everything starts out of like a disc about 3 inches around, and then they cut shapes out of that. So if you want something in particular that they don't have, you can put in a special order. Obviously it'll cost a little bit more, but yeah, we can make it happen for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, and so Cartier silver, yeah, I like Harlan Burke as well. I'm going to be talking to Aaron Burke tomorrow here on my channel. I have a live stream with him, so I'd love to see you back for that. If you have any questions on ancient coins or anything, it's a great time to ask him. Let's see, Silverboy says, okay. Every time you show it, yeah, you sure you want it? Yeah, it's fine. We can jump back in time for you if you want it. I can do that for you. Yeah, we can go up to 4 payments. So if you like it, you can have it. It is a great coin. So not you really do have great taste, Silverboy, because you're pulling all my favorite coins from me. But I mean, that's what's hard about it for me is because I really like this coin, and it's hard.
I don't want to get rid of it.
It's hard to get rid of these beautiful, because I spent a lot of time finding because a lot of the horses are improportioned right. Their joints don't look right, or their big balls, or their necks all huge and their body's small, so when you find something that you really like, it's and this is double signed, and look at that hair. It's like she's
great.
And she's a water nymph, is like what she's representing, is a water nymph. And you can just kind of see that hair, like if she's in a lake, looking up at you from under the lake, and her hair's kind of just swirling in the water a little bit, It's like, wow, to show that kind of detail in a coin from 2,500 years ago is like, what? Get out of here. But yes, that's a beautiful coin and a beautiful buy, Silverboy. And you take all of my beautiful stuff, but I know I'm offering it. So yeah, greatly appreciated, Silverboy. Did I make a sale there then? Are we sold? No, it's for sale, but it's all for you. And I'd rather see it go into your hands, and especially this way. And that's like even Aaron says, when I buy these coins from him, he's like, hopefully I do good enough business with you guys that you bring them back to me, because he wants them again. Like this way it stays in a circle of people who enjoy the coin, and the value is rising on its own, and so I should be able to make a little bit of money, and then Silverboy, you should be able to make a little bit of money, as long as it's reasonable. And everybody should be happy and enjoying the coin, and that way I can get more of these beautiful coins in my hands and learn more about the history. So as much as I love them, I am anxious to go out and find another one that I can that we can learn more about that history on that one, and then that way the flow keeps moving. So yes, I would be happy to sell it to you, Silverboy Blues. No, we are good. Hey, John. Thanks for tomorrow. Nice. Thank you. Aaron is a cool guy. Very smart. I loved it when he was busting ancient coins out of. Yeah. You know, and that's one thing. One of the reasons I picked Aaron, aside from really liking the way they do business and being really nice and great people, is that I like to hold my ancient coins, and I think that's a big part of ancient coins. And it's not like the new coins. What happened to did I lose my guest? I lost my guest. But yeah, I like to hold my ancient coins, and most people in ancients who are actual ancient coin collectors indeed like to hold their ancients, and that's what it's all about. And it's more just a modern USA phenomenon that people are getting all their ancient coins slabbed just because they're newbies. But that's fine. To each their own.
My bad. I blipped out for a little bit. Apparently, the aliens came by and took the signal away from me. I had to ask them to take it, bring it back. So apologize about that if I missed the last part of that conversation.
Hey, John Camper, welcome in. Good to see you. Yep, cool. All right, well, yeah, and bring your questions for Aaron tomorrow, guys. We'll be talking with him at 1 p.m. Chicago time or 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I'm excited.
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go. And yeah, I'm excited to talk with him, and I'll hopefully bring up the tariffs thing. This is kind of a big deal going on right now, so I'm happy to be having him on tomorrow. Ask him about that. And yeah, now I can go find me some more ancient coins. Thank you very much, Silver Boy Blues. And boy, you're
good pickup there.
What's that?
That was a good pickup he bought there. That's awesome.
It was.
Coin.
It's a beautiful coin, and I have to try hard to get something as good to replace it so that I can still be happy.
If it was me, I would definitely get that coin graded. Just curious to see what they're going to say as far as details are concerned. They might even put like high details or something on the slab grade notes to make.
Oh yeah, it's a high.
Pop,
it is. It's a high relief, and they would. But like I just bought a coin, a B that in fact I'll pull it out here. So I just bought this coin and popped it out of the NGC holder.
We need more.
But yeah, this is a beautiful coin as well. This is my new mascot for the channel. Cha. But yeah, this is 2,400-year-old Ephesus B. And it has what I find cool is you can even kind of read the Greek still. And like you got your E for Ephesus, and then your F for Ephesus, or the phi sign in Greek, but EF for Ephesus. And look at all the detail on, down to the wings that has the little whatever you call that, lattice support for the wings, whatever you would call those things. And then it says back here, O, and then this P is an R, and that's the same as in Russian. So a lot of these letters are like Russian letters, like the ones. So it helps me to read these a little bit. But first letter is obviously O, and then this P-looking letter makes an R sound. So O-Ra, and then A, O-Ra, and then this backwards-looking S is an S. So Oras, and then the Y is kind of an Ui sound. Orasui L, this teepee looking thing. An A without the bar basically is an L. And that's also kind of like Russian. So it's interesting to see like how these letters got passed off through time to different cultures. But yeah. Orasuloi. I don't know where that is, but that's where this coin was minted. And yeah, anyway. And so this is from Ephesus, and that is in the New Testament, the book of Ephesians, same town, same place. And in Ephesus, they had in their great big temple, supposedly like a wonder of the world, the goddess of known in Greek is a modern day coin of Artemis. So Artemis in Greek, see how she has that stag behind her? That's what this stag on the back of this coin is representing there. But so in Greek, this goddess was known as Artemis, and in the Romans knew her as Diana. So in the Bible, when it talks about the great goddess Diana, and we all, everybody knows that we worship the goddess Diana, it says in there, and that's actually who this coin is. That's where all these representations stem from. So I thought that was cool.
They even did Wonder Woman in DC Comics. That's why they call her Diana. That's where they got her character comes from, that Artemis.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, because her name was Diana, so she was kind of like a Greek warrior, if you will, goddess type of thing, Olympian type of warrior, and Artemis technically, yeah, a lot of this stuff has all been redone, but yeah, Artemis is basically the interpretation of Artemis is fully displayed or played out in the DC Comics Wonder Woman. So that's where you got that idea from.
I did not know that. I don't watch the comics, but that's cool to know. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that was awesome. I had a great time. Sean, thank you so much for coming up here and hanging out with me.
I had a blast, man. I really, truly appreciate you having me on again. I apologize to any of our viewers if my volume of my mic or my clarity of my picture is not up to what you normally 4K par you normally watch. And so I appreciate you all with the patience with me. I appreciate you LLC having me on. I would love to come back, and I would love to just keep doing this live stuff. And I appreciate the sub I just got. So I thank you for that. From whoever did that, I just got a notification, and I didn't see exactly who it was. Let me see who it was. It was Space Miner. I appreciate the sub. Thank you for doing that. Anybody else who decides to sub and go watch my silly videos and stuff. But looking forward to doing some more videos. I hope we update some stuff so YouTube won't keep me in the back corner here with not pumping my stuff up. And had a blast, man. Looking forward to doing this again. And I'm glad you were able to get some pieces sold and educate me on some osmium, and you might have just made me a customer. So I had a great time, man. This was awesome.
Beautiful. Great. Yeah, I'd love to have you back on down the road, and indeed reach out anytime. Everybody in chat, thank you for coming on. Greatly appreciate it. And again, I'll be talking with Aaron tomorrow at noon Mountain Standard Time. So I'd love to see you all back for that. And thank you all so much. We will catch you all on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.